The Simpsons is a household name for a reason because over the years they've put out some amazing episodes, especially towards the beginning of its run, but over that time they've also really stumbled, and now they're continuing down the politically correct path because they've decided Homer will no longer strangle Bart as they believe times have changed. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So, starting off with this Lad Bible article, it is an archive. It says Homer Simpson has finally given up strangling his son Bart as the show admits that times have changed. Times really have not changed, and the things that people used to find funny, we still find funny. Unfortunately, though, that's just not the world that we live in anymore. Oh no, we can't have a bit that's been running since the start of this series because now it's too offensive. It says it's a well-worn joke on the show that when Bart Simpson does something wrong, he can expect to be grabbed around the neck by his dad. But after years of strangling, it seems as if Bart might have suffered his last, and The Simpsons has finally addressed the shifting of the sands. The show is unquestionably one of the greatest of all time, and despite the fact that some of us probably tuned out after season 9, it continues on. But now, of course, times have changed, they're saying. As Homer and Marge pay a visit to their neighbor, Homer introduces himself with a handshake, and the new character remarks on the strength of his grip, prompting Homer to respond, "See, Marge, strangling the boy paid off," and he then adds, "Just kidding, I don't do that anymore. Times have changed." And this is the reason why South Park will always be more relevant than The Simpsons, okay? Yes, The Simpsons has predicted things that have happened, and that's cool, but South Park addresses things that are on people's minds. Obviously, Simpsons has a few years on South Park, but, they did a short film in 92 and 95, and then the first full season, the show that we have now, released in 97, so in the grand scheme of things, that's not that far off, but look at how irrelevant the Simpsons creatives have made this show over the years. They've changed voice actors, they've removed characters altogether, now they're retiring one of the longest running bits in the show. I mean, these cartoons were never meant to represent the world on a one-to-one basis to show how you should act. In some respects, when it comes to things like, South Park, they're meant to point out the absurdity of the world. I personally haven't been a big fan of the show since the voice actor changes, since that is a ridiculous situation, but this is insane, okay? Everyone knows The Simpsons isn't real. Is getting rid of violence and guns in Call of Duty the next step? Oh, times have changed, no guns in COD. It is all fictional, and in this case, it's fictional cartoon violence, and Homer strangling Bart isn't gonna cause a mass epidemic of parents strangling their children. It hasn't in the entire existence of the show, just like it won't now. Just like guns in video games don't cause real world violence. Why is physical comedy this big issue now? Okay, kids and adults find it funny, like when characters trip or throw things at each other. There's plenty of all ages physical comedy skits, especially in cartoons going back entire eras, like the Looney Tunes. That's all about dropping stuff on each other, and it's still popular today for a reason, and to think kids or adults today find it any less funny than they would have in something like the 80s in this case is ridiculous, okay? Things haven't changed, and only a small minority of snowflakes that now have a voice from social media have changed, a voice we all need to start laughing at. I'm sure you all remember this situation from a couple of years ago, but The Simpsons will no longer have white voice actors voice non-white characters, and they faced such a massive amount of backlash for years over this situation, but they still never reversed course. Like, I don't think that they're going to reverse course now over the, strangling gag that's no longer going to be used in the series, but tons of people are fighting back against this on social media who are so upset that they are making such a drastic change, that they are retiring this, because at the end of the day, the people who are the sensitive snowflakes that wanted them to remove this, it's not like they're going to magically start watching the series again. It's not like it's going to, gain some massive attention because, oh my god, they've actually changed with the times, even though Again, people want this type of content because it's simply comedy and it's funny. But yeah, people are definitely not happy. Culture Crave made a tweet on it, and there are tons of people talking about it on social media now. The Simpsons canceling The Simpsons for being The Simpsons. It is actually so true. The West has fallen, one of the most iconic things in television history, all because people can't take jokes anymore. Yup. Get your physical copies before they make those changes for a modern audience. What is the world coming to in 100 years? You'll get shunned by society for walking incorrectly. We can't have any type of humor anymore because, oh no, it could offend someone. It could really bother someone. In this case, oh no, Homer can't keep doing what he's been doing for 30 years because it bothers people. People are questioning. It was just his thing. What will he do now? Who knows? They'll probably try to come up with something that's like similar, but it's just clearly not as funny, much more toned down. Like they're going to need some kind of long running gag for him now, and it's going to be something so dumb. You can already tell. Times have changed. No strangling kids has always been frowned upon, but it is a cartoon. That is what I'm saying. We are not talking about real people here. We're talking about fictional characters doing fictional things. Like, why is it a problem that they're doing something comedic that people actually have found funny? One of the most iconic actions in this entire series. Have we gone so soft already? I mean, the world has definitely been going soft over the past few years, but it's just now that these companies are actually starting to listen because they think that these people are truly going to like save their shows, that they are going to save their products. And oh my gosh, if we start appealing to these sensitive snowflakes online, they're going to start supporting our products. But we, have figured out very quickly that is definitely not the case. At the end of the day, I can't really say I'm all that surprised after everything that they've done to change this series to make it more politically correct with the voice actors and removing characters. Now we have Homer, who is no longer going to be choking Bart as times have changed. I can't say I'm surprised, but The Simpsons has now become even more irrelevant than it already was. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.